Is Tom Brady overrated? I would say overprotected is more like it. What you saw in that Pro Bowl game was a disgrace. Saw two All-American faces of the NFL, Tom Brady and Eli Manning, get totally protected on that football field, and that was a Super Bowl game, people. If they call off the defense, not even sending one or two men to blitz these All-American pocket passers, even though if you send one man blitzing at them, they won't be able to avoid the pressure. They won't be able to evade the defender and get out the way because they don't have much athleticism, speed, or talent. One defender will get them down all the time, and that's why they don't do it. But at least send one or two just to make the game look like it's a football game, for Christ's sake. What you saw in that game was just them trying to protect these All-Americans and make them look good. They called off the defense. They told the defense, you just go out there and guard the wide receivers, and that was it. Tom Brady didn't have to deal with any damn defensive pressure, and when they did put the pressure on Tom Brady, didn't he go down? There you go. Then when they called it off, what happened? First down, first down, first down. But when they put at least one man coming up the middle on top, what happened? Tackle. Or pass deflected. Or they interrupted the passing. At least one defender is good enough. And in many cases, like I said, one guy coming up the middle shuts down these All-American pocket passers. They lack athleticism and agility. They can't get out the way. This is what I don't understand when you want to win, why these coaches don't do it. But like I said, they want to protect the All-American quarterback, keep him looking heroic, and also they want to protect him from getting hurt. So they call off the defense. So what we saw in that Pro Bowl, that Super Bowl game, correction, not Pro Bowl, Super Bowl game, that was just embarrassing. That was embarrassing. There were better regular season games than that Super Bowl game. And if they're willing to call off the defense in this Super Bowl game to make sure these All-American pocket passers look good, then you know damn well they do it in the regular season. Think about it, it's common sense. And all it does is hurt the game of football, make it extremely boring to watch, make it very redundant, and it just takes away from the game. And I always refer to the game, like I said, Saints and 49ers in this year's playoff series. That was a football game. Ravens and Texans, that was a football game. Okay? You got to see football. Played all the way through and out, and it was so fun to watch. Okay? Saints 49ers was just amazing. That's football, people. Now compare Saints and 49ers playoff game to this Super Bowl with New England Patriots and the Giants. Which game was more exciting? Of course the 49ers versus the Saints, because you got to see real football. So there's a lot of games in the NFL, a lot of quarterbacks who don't get the defense called off, especially quarterbacks of color. They get 7-man blitz every damn play. It can be 1st and 10 and their ass is getting blitzed. They always blitzing all of the quarterback of color. Always. Because the goal is to hit him and hurt him so he won't run, even though he's had a bunch of games where he's thrown for 300 yards and over. They, for some reason, got a thing with stopping him from running. Stupid. They want to hit the All-American, they want to hit the quarterback of color. They want to hit the quarterback of color and hurt him, or they send a 7-man blitz at him. Okay? They blitz the quarterback of color all day. And this phenomenon of calling off the defense or All-American pocket passers, stiff, slow pocket passers, can look good, look heroic. It goes on in college football. It goes on in the NFL. You better believe it. I've seen it in college with Kirk Cousins for Michigan. Just no defensive pressure. And then when he throws for 500, they want to talk about how great of a quarterback he is. He didn't have to deal with any defensive pressure. What do you mean he's great? I've seen it with Landry Jones at Oklahoma. They just call it the defense. Landry Jones had another spectacular day, Tom. Sure did, Dan. Threw for 500 yards. Amazing. You damn right it took. You damn right he threw for 500 yards. He didn't have to deal with any defensive pressure. Same thing you see him do with Brady. They do it to certain players in college football, and it's mainly the All-American pocket passers, the All-American males, who they're constantly talking about. When you see them constantly hyped up in the media, those are the ones they call the defense all for. But other quarterbacks that aren't getting the hype and aren't the face of a league or whatever, they really have to deal with pressure. You know, you look at Tony for Dallas Cowboys quarterback. Tony, that guy has to deal with me. Yes, he gets hit all the time. Jake Cutler, Big Ben, okay, Matthew Stafford for Detroit. There's a lot of quarterbacks who are damn good and have to deal with real defensive pressure. So it's not all the players, but it's a hell of a lot of them. All quarterbacks of color get blitzed like crazy. Jason Campbell, Mike Vick, Vince Young. All quarterbacks of color get 7-man blitz and get blitz heavy all the time. They're always trying to distract the throw, hit them or hurt them because they don't want a quarterback of color being successful at that position and dominating and taking it over. It's nothing they can do to really stop it, but they're trying really hard. And just think about it. As fast, big, and strong as these defensive players are in the NFL, for some reason they just can't get past Tom Brady's offensive linemen and get to Tom Brady. These fast, awesome 6'5", 6'6", 300-pound, full of muscle, thick athletes, and fast as hell, just can't get past Tom Brady's offensive linemen. Just can't get to Tom Brady. Just can't get to Eli Manning. Just can't get to Peyton Manning. These guys who are the face of the NFL. Oh, and get ready for them to rig it up for Andrew Luck too. Oh, with all the hype he's getting, oh yeah. They're going to rig it up and set it up real good for Andrew Luck. Come to find out he was training with Peyton Manning all the way back when he was in high school, going to Peyton Manning's camp. Oh, that's all set up and rigged up right there. So get ready for Andrew Luck to have it nice and rigged up for him, just like he had it in college when he was at Stanford. Just go watch the video Andrew Luck exposed for yourself. But for some reason, these great defensive players, fast as lightning and as strong as ever, just can't get to Tom Brady. Just can't get past his offensive linemen. These awesome athletes on the defensive side just can't get to Eli. Just can't get to Peyton Manning. Just can't get to these guys. That's how you know something is rigged and something is set up. Not every player in the NFL has this privilege of not having to deal with defense and being able to just sit behind the offensive line and just throwing the ball at will and whenever they get ready to. Not every quarterback has this privilege. Definitely not quarterbacks of color. They're always blitzed. Also, you notice that when a quarterback has a coach of color, he tends to get hit a lot from the blitz. They blitz the hell out of those guys too. Big Ben, always nicked up and hurt. What color is his coach? Jay Cutler, always hit and hurt. Gets blitz heavy. What color is his coach? Yeah. So this goes on in the NFL. Okay? They want to keep that position at quarterback for all American males. They're scared to death of the quarterback of color, and so they blitz the hell out of him all the time. Same thing happened to Jamarcus Russell. And the main reason Jamarcus Russell messed up was because he still tried to drop back with the blitz coming at him and still make a play. Instead of him dropping back and just going down because of the blitz pressure, or him dropping back and just throwing the damn ball out of bounds, Jamarcus, being desperate, on the first pick of the draft, they paid me $50 million. I got to make something happen. The blitz will come, he back up, and as soon as he get hit, before he get hit, he would try to throw the ball and force passes. Jamarcus Russell's problem was all the excessive blitzing that took place, all the excessive blitzing that the coach did against him, that these coaches did against him, and him trying to force passes when there was nothing open. That's what killed Jamarcus Russell. The excessive blitzing and him trying to force passes instead of him just throwing the ball out of bounds or just going down because of all the damn blitzing. Then they want to say a quarterback of color just can't make it in the NFL. They're just not smart enough. No. The quarterbacks of color are getting blitzed like hell, and that's what's really going on. That's what's really going on. And for the All-American quarterbacks, they call off the blitz pressure. They don't put any defensive pressure on for mainly these All-American quarterbacks who are the face of the NFL. So that's what's really going on. And all you got to do is watch the games and you'll see it. And this is in college football and in the NFL. And another thing that hurts the quarterback of color, when he's out there playing, man, and they 7-man blitz him or put that blitz pressure on him, most of the quarterbacks of color really can't be stopped from the blitz, because once that line in the defensive line is open and there's an opening, the quarterback of color has enough athleticism and agility to get the hell out of there, which most of them do. The reason the quarterback of color ends up getting stopped by the blitz, it's only because the quarterback of color, when he says hike, he's backing up. At the same time that the quarterback of color is backing up, the defense is coming at him. That's the only time the quarterback of color really gets stopped by the blitz. But when he says hike, he drops that quick short check down pass to those running backs, or he says hike and he drops back and he hits that opening, the first opening he can see, and gets the hell out of there, quarterback of color can master the blitz and actually make defenses look very stupid. They blitz the quarterback of color right now out of desperateness. They have this mindset of if we just hit him, he won't run anymore. You know how these All-Americans are. But it's foolishness. They got it all ass backwards. You're supposed to use the blitz, the fast aggressive blitz, on the quarterback who's slow as hell and stiff. You're supposed to blitz the hell out of Mr. Slowpoke back there because he can't handle your speed coming at him. He'll get frightened and mess up and go down. Tom Brady. Quarterback that is fast as lightning, quick, alert, smart, and athletic, and strong, and fast, you don't want to blitz him. Soon as there's a hole or opening in that offensive line, and there's a hole and opening, that quarterback of color is boom, boom, boom. He's out of there. Okay? So the only reason these quarterbacks of color are getting stopped by the blitz is because when they say hike, the quarterbacks of color are backing up. As they're backing up to try to be a passer and get their wide receivers involved, the defense is coming at them. And so the quarterback of color is then tackled. He has about 4 or 5 guys, right there in that area because he backed up to tackle him. That's what happens. But if that quarterback of color backs up 1, 2 step, maybe 3, and give that offensive line, time to break up when he has an opening, and he takes advantage of that opening and get the hell out of there, he can get 5 or 10 yards easily all during the game and make the defensive coordinator look like a fool. Okay? But he has to be that quarterback that's told to be aggressive. Be aggressive out there. When you have the opportunity to pass the ball, drop back and pass. When you have the opportunity to run and create and get the hell out of there and get down the field and get some yards, when you have the ability to run, go and run. It's about being balanced out there. For all quarterbacks of color, it's about being balanced behind that offensive line. There's going to be times when you can pass. There's going to be times when you need to run and create. Use both your abilities and don't be ashamed of neither one of them. So yeah, that's what happens, man, in the NFL big time. They blitz the hell out the quarterback of color and they call off the defensive pressure totally for these all-American pocket passers because they're stiff as hell and they can't deal with any defensive pressure. They go down easy. You just send one blitzer. You send one defender at them blitzing, coming straight at them. They're done. Tom Brady, Eli, Peyton, Manning, all these guys, done. It doesn't happen for every quarterback in the NFL, though. That's the good thing. There's a lot of All-American quarterbacks in the NFL that get lit up. You know what I mean? So that's mainly because they're not really the face of the NFL. So it's not rampant all through the NFL. It's not rampant in all through college football either. But you do see this happening. And it's mainly the guys that the sports media, ESPN, always brags about and talks about. Watch those guys. Weeding for Oklahoma State, that's another one. Doesn't have to deal with any defensive pressure. College football player, Weeding for Oklahoma State. Watch a lot of his games. No defensive pressure. Weeding had another great game. This guy's definitely NFL talent. I'm like, what? He doesn't have to deal with any defensive pressure. What are you talking about? Andrew Luck. I got a video on Andrew Luck showing you the footage on him. Drops back, no defensive pressure. None. They want to talk about how great of a passer he is. Come on, man. A lot of these guys are frauds. I'm telling you. A lot of these All-Americans that get the defense called off, they're frauds. They're frauds, man. Point blank, period. In the NFL, it's a war. These All-American coaches want to keep the quarterback position for All-American males so they can bore us to death some more. And maybe so those All-American males can get those multi-million-dollar contracts at quarterback. That's why they're also big on getting the All-American to be the first pick in the draft. You notice this obsession with All-Americans being first, especially since Jamarcus was picked first. And since, like I said, Obama got in the White House, these All-Americans want to be first in everything. And they're also obsessed with these All-Americans in the NFL. Owners, coaching staff, all these All-American males, they're also obsessed with keeping a coaching position for All-Americans. Like I said, when a quarterback has a coach of color, you notice how much he gets hit and how much they blitz his quarterback. Because they don't want that coach of color to succeed. You blitz the quarterback of color, he's going to have a hard time being successful, right? He can be smart and outdo and be successful against the blitz, but eventually the excessive blitzing is going to wear and tear on him eventually. Same thing with Jay Cutler and Big Ben. So if you blitz the hell out the quarterback of color, it's going to sort of lessen his chances to be successful somewhat. He can be successful and beat the blitz, but still kind of lessens his chances of being a dominant performing quarterback because they want to keep the position of coach for All-American males and they want to keep the position of quarterback for All-American males. Why? These guys, quarterback and coaches, make multi-millions of dollars. They make multi-million dollars, people. That's why. It's really a war. And if you haven't noticed, out in society, it's a recession. So you better believe these All-Americans, who rig up, set up every damn thing that they're involved in. Economy, Wall Street, government, school system, every damn thing is rigged up and set up for them, right? Why wouldn't they do it in the NFL where billions of dollars are generated and where they can make multi-million dollars in contract money? Why wouldn't they rig up the NFL? You think they're just out there just playing football and that's it? No, they want to continue to live that good life, and they want to keep men of color out of that life, especially at the positions that they can mainly get. With a lack of athletic talent and ability and no talent, all they can occupy is coaching, screaming and yelling at big brown guys all day. Then they tell you they love to guide these men in the right direction. Yeah, whatever. Or trying to be a quarterback, sitting back there behind the offensive line, no defensive pressure on them, and just throwing. No athletic ability, no talent, but I can do this. Okay? So they're scared to death to lose their little spots in the game of football, and that's what it's all about. Okay? All Americans are thinking war. They're thinking win. The man of color has to wake up and realize what the hell's going on. You men of color that play quarterback, you coaches of color, you gotta wake up, man. Understand, it's not just football. Not for those All-Americans. They want that money, and you gotta wake up and understand that. The quarterback of color just doesn't do well in the NFL. He's just not smart enough to read defenses. It's just, they're bad decision makers. No, that's not the problem. They're getting excessively blitzed all damn day, play after play after play. That will, over time, interrupt your playmaking ability. It will. 7 men coming at you, not real easy to deal with. Possible to deal with them, you can, but it gets rough on you after a while. So that's what's really going on in the NFL. It's a war going on. And these coaches of color gotta recognize this, and these quarterbacks of color, you better wake up and recognize it. Multi-millions of dollars are on the line. And you gotta ask yourself, quarterback of color and coach of color, do you want your family to live good? Think about it. Is Tom Brady overhyped? I would say overprotected is more like it. And this phenomenon of protecting these All-American pocket passing QBs is a huge problem in the game of football, college and the NFL. Thanks for watching.